The idea of crimping is basically you're growing a specific crop that is able to terminate. So there are certain crops, like a lot of legumes, are going to have a lot of trouble terminating. They're going to want to regrow. So you're going to look for like rigid grass species. It's not bad to have legumes in there, but having a majority of like a rigid grass species that can fold over, and you run this implement, it's very heavy to terminate that cover crop. And the idea is to leave a mat of biomass on top of your soil. So not only are you protecting the soil from the heat and the sun, but you're creating an environment that is very conducive to mycorrhizal fungi, beneficial bacteria. And you're protecting your soil, so you're trapping a lot of the moisture that's already in the ground, and you should be able to keep those soil temps down, and it will help you irrigate less. It in theory will enhance your mycorrhizal populations, your mycorrhizal fungi, which create this symbiotic relationship with your grapevine roots, right? You could have all of the nitrogen fixing species you want in your cover crop, but the nitrogen that those plants are putting into your soil profile aren't accessible by the grapevine roots. You need mycorrhizal fungi to be able to consume and convert that nitrogen to a usable form. So in theory, crimping promotes those mycorrhizal populations, which in turn will feed your grapevine roots. They create that symbiotic relationship, which is like the missing link, really. You know, without conventional fertilizers that are designed for rapid uptake by the plants you're feeding, you can have super fertile soils, but your plants aren't going to be able to harness that fertility without this relationship between the mycorrhizal fungi and your beneficial bacteria. Without those populations, your grapevines aren't going to be able to fully access the nutrients that you're storing. So it's kind of like the missing link. By laying this cover crop over, by crimping it and terminating it, in theory, you should be able to promote those populations. So that's the idea. There are a lot of downsides to crimping as well, right? I mean, you have in the United States, you're dealing with a lot of rodents, so gophers and ground squirrels. You create an environment where they're really comfortable. They have places to hide, so you have owl boxes and owls and predators from the sky that can't see them. They can't hunt them because they have all of this ground cover to reside in. And then there can be, from what I've been told, a decrease in vigor because when you crimp a crop, you're not really killing it. You're leaving that root system intact. So there could be this level of competition that occurs between that living thatch and your grapevines.
But what are the alternatives? I mean, if you're plowing it or spraying it in conventional farming, then you're getting rid of the cover crop, but you're also killing the mycorrhizal.
The microbiome, yeah. So by disking to conserve moisture, you're disrupting that mycorrhizal network. By mowing really tight or close to the ground, you're exposing your soil to direct sunlight. So, like I said, where we are here, it hits 100 degrees pretty consistently throughout the growing season. So you're getting a lot of evaporation and your soil is baking in theory, which in and of itself will kill life or drive life deeper underground. The chemical side is, I mean, that's just, you're leaving salts behind, you're killing all those microorganisms. So that's never been an option for us, but we'll see.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.